Hey guys, and welcome to this video. In this video, we're going to talk about the rest of the questions of 2022 2F, paper 2, foundation level. Now, in this video, we're going to talk about question 20. Mariana sells bags of bird food. The bags that Mariana sold last week each contain 12 kilograms of seeds. The bag that she is going to sell next week will each contain a mixture of nuts and seeds, where for each bag, weight of nuts to the weight of seeds is 4 to 5. The total weight of the nuts and the seeds in each bag will be 19.35 kilograms. The weight of the seeds in each bag that Mariana sells next week will be less than the weight of seeds in each bag that Mariana sold last week. Because this decrease as a percentage of the weight of seeds in each bag that Mariana sold last week. Give your answer correct to one small plate. So they want us to know or to find out what's the percentage of decrease that happened between the seeds in the first week or the last week and the weight of seeds next week. So first, we know that weight of seeds last week is 12 kilograms. Now let's work out the weight of seeds next week, okay? Here, we know the total is 19.35 kilograms. We know that the ratio between nuts and seeds is 4 to 5. Now we're going to find the weight of seeds. How do we do this? First, because this is the total weight, it means we're going to add the ratios together, and they're going to be 9. So we add 4 plus 5 equals 9. That's the first step, because we already know that this is the total number. Now we're going to take 19.35, which is the total weight, and divide it by the 9. So we're going to say 19.35 divide 9. This will give us the number that we can work out the weight of seed with it. So 19.35 divide 9. And the answer is 2.15. 2.15. Now, to find the weight of seeds, we're going to take the 2.15 and multiply it by the 5, because that is the ratio of the seeds. So we multiply 2.15 times 5 to get the weight of seeds. So 2.15 times 5, and the answer is 10.75 kilograms. This is the weight of seeds that we have in this bag. Okay, she's going to sell next week. So we know the weight, the new weight of seeds. This is the old weight of seeds. Now we're going to find the percentage of decrease between them. So first, we're going to say 12, which is the new, minus the, I'm sorry, the original. This is the original, minus the new, which is 10.75. Now I like to do it that way, which is the original minus the new. So original minus, I'm sorry, new minus original. New minus, because the percentage will be uh, in decreasing, it means it's going to be in negative. So new minus original, okay, multiplied by the original, divided by the original. Mhm. So new minus original, divided by original, and then multiplied by 100. Then you multiply it by 100, and this is how you find the percentage of change between them. So first, let me put the fraction line here. So new minus original divided by original multiplied by 100. The new is what? The new is 10.75. So I'm going to subtract them. They're going to be like this. So 10.75 minus 12, and I'll get the answer in negative because it's decreasing. 10.75 minus 12. It's going to be 1.25 and negative. The answer negative means what? It means it's decreasing. Now I'm going to divide it by the original, which is what? Which is 12. So divide this by the original, which is 12. And the answer will be, so 1.25 divide 12. And I'll get 0.104, 0.1041. So let's do it like this. 1041, because there's a 6 after it, which is here. Now, after that, after dividing by the original, I'm going to multiply it by 100 because I'm looking for the percentage. I'm going to multiply it by 100. So the answer will be, so times 100, I will get 10.416, 10.416. And they need the answer rounded to one decimal place. At the first decimal place, so it means in the answer, I'm going to include the first decimal place only. And then I look at in the number after it, to the number after it, it's a 1, it's small, so it's going to be removed without adding anything here. So the final answer will be 10.4%. And of course, it's a negative, it means it's decreasing. But we don't have to write it as a negative answer because we already know that percentages, negative means, or negative percentages means decreasing percentages. But the answer will be a negative number, which leads us to knowing that it's a decreasing percentage. And this is how you answer a question like this. So the first thing we did, we added the ratios, and then we divided the total weight by the ratio, by the ratios, which is 9. And then we took the number multiplied by the ratio of the seeds, which is 5, and we got 10.75. And this is the weight of the seeds for the next week back. And this is the old one, which is 12. And then to find the percentage, we subtract them, divide them by the original, which is 12, and then multiply by 100. And we got 10.416. And then we rounded this to one decimal place to get 10.4%. Now let's move on to the next question. 21. Here is a right angle triangle. We have this number, which is the opposite of the angle. We have this x. Look out the value of x, give your answer correct to one decimal place. Now, because this is a right angle triangle, it means we can use the trigonometric ratios, so katoa. And here we have an angle. This is the opposite of the angle. And this is the height of the triangle. And how do we know it's the height? Because it's the line opposite to the right angle. So we're going to use soka toa. Now, how do we know which one we're supposed to use? Now, soka toa is written like this. Now, we have the opposite and the height. So we look for a ratio that has the opposite and the height in it. So let me change this. So here we have which is opposite and height. Here we have adjacent and height. We can't use the adjacent. Here we have opposite and adjacent. We can't use the adjacent. It means the one we're going to use is which is the sine. The sine ratio says what? It says sine of angle equals opposite divide height. Opposite divide height, like this. Opposite divide height. You have to memorize and understand these ratios at the same time and understand the steps of using them. And these steps are related to algebraic steps, algebraic fractions. So we have to know how to use them. Now, the angle is 42. So sine of 42 equals the opposite, which is 6.5. 6.5. Divide the height, which is the x that we don't know. This. Now we're going to take the x to the side by multiplying. As I said, these will follow the algebraic movements. So this one is divided, so we take it to the other side by multiplying. So we will have x multiplied by sine of 42 equals 6.5. And then this one is multiplied by the x. It means we're going to take the sine 42 to the other side by dividing here under the 6.5. So at the end, I will have x equals 6.5, like this, 6.5, divided by sine of 42, sine of 42. And now I'm going to use the calculator to find this value. So as I said, here, let's like this, equals. So 6.5, 6.5 divided by sine 42. Please focus on the ratios and the trigonometric ratio that you're supposed to use. Now, for this one, we have 9.714. So 9.714. The question wants us to round it to one decimal place. Same idea, one decimal place, it means 7. Now, we look at the number after it, which is the 1. The 1 is small, so the answer will be 9 point, so x equals 9.7 without adding anything to the 7. Now, let's move on to the next question. As I said, focus on the trigonometric ratio and which one to use, and focus on algebraic movements because they're very important. And even rounding is very important because if you don't round, you're gonna lose 1 mark. Now let's move on. That's one. Question 22. Solve the simultaneous equations. Show clear algebraic work. Now here we have two simultaneous equations. We have A and C. Now let's zoom in. Let me show you how to solve them. Let's zoom out a bit. So here, let's cover this. We can work here. Here we have two simultaneous equations, and we're going to solve them using the elimination method. We will notice that 5 here, let's use this. The 5 and the 2 are not in the same times table, but the 4 and the 2 are in the same times table. So it means if I multiply this by 2, it's going to be 4 the same. This is how elimination method works. You have to make, or you have to have the same coefficients so you can eliminate the variable. So it means I'm going to take the upper equation, this, and multiply the whole equation by 2 so I can have 4 the same as the one here. So this one will be multiplied by 2 like this. So I'm going to multiply it by 2. So here we're going to multiply by 2. It means let's take the equation and multiply it. So 2 times 5a will be 10a. Let's do it step by step and write it here, okay? And then 2 times 2c is going to be 4c plus 4c. And then equal 2 times 10 is going to be 20, so equals 20. So when you multiply, you have to follow the steps and multiply each element alone. It means multiply the 5 and then multiply the 2 and then multiply the 10. By 2 by 5 is 10, 2 by 2 is 4, 2 by 10 is 20. Now we're going to start the elimination method because we already have two variables that have the same coefficients with different signs. It means we can eliminate these variables together like this. This is how elimination method works. Now we eliminate this. Now we're going to add these. So 2a plus 10a would equal 12a. And then equal sign, 7 plus 20 is going to be 27. Now, we need the a alone, so we need to make a the subject. It means we're going to take the 12 to the other side by dividing. So we take 12 by dividing here. So a equals 27. Let's write it here. A equals 27 over 12. 7 over 12. And by over, we mean divide. Now, let's divide this with the calculator. We can find the value of a. So 27 divide 12. And the answer is 2.25, 2.25, and the value of A. Now, after finding the value of A, we're going to use it, substitute it in one of the equations, find the value of C. We can use any equation of these. We can use the first one, second one, or third one. Same idea, and they will give the same answer. Now, let's use the first one. So we already know that A is 2.25. So let's write the equation first. So 5A plus 2c equals 10. A is 2.25, so 5 brackets. Remember this. When you substitute any number inside a variable, please use brackets. It's easier when you do it in the calculator like that. So 5 times 2.25 plus 2c equals 10. Okay. Now, 5 times 2.25, let's do it like this. 5 times 2.25 is going to be 11.24, 25, sorry. Plus 2c equals 10. Now, I'm going to take this 11.25 to the other side, and it's going to be subtracted. So 2c equals 10 minus 11.25. Let's continue this here. So as we said, 2c equals 10 minus the 11.25. So we subtract them here. 10 minus 11.25. And the answer is minus 1.25. So negative 1.25. Now, we need the c alone. It means we're going to take the 2 multiplied. So we're going to take it to the other side by dividing. So it means that c equals negative 1.25, negative 1.25, divide 2, or divide, okay. Now I'm going to divide these by each other to get the value of c. So c equals, let's divide them, negative 1.25 divide 2. And the final answer is negative 0, let's write it here, negative 0.625. So we got the final answer. This means that A equals 2.25 and C equals to 0, negative 0.625. And this is how you answer simultaneous equations. Focus on making the variables have the same coefficients and have different signs. Now, if we have the same signs, it means we have to multiply it by negative 1 to change one of the equation's signs. Now, let's move on to the next question. Finish this. Question 23. A, factorize. So here in factorizing, it means we're going to use the double brackets method. The double brackets method, it means open two brackets here because we have quadratic expression. So double bracket. The first bracket will have x like this, and then close it, and then the double one, x, same idea, and then close it. Okay. So first, x squared means x times x. And then this one is addition. Here we look at this. First, we look at this sign. This one means subtraction. So this one is subtraction. It means subtraction means what? It means these two have different, yes, they have different signs. So one of them is positive, one of them is negative. So it means when do we subtract? We subtract different signs. If we have numbers with different signs, we subtract them. Now, when you multiply these two numbers, so we need two numbers. When you multiply them, you get 24. It means let's come here and take the 24 and write the factors of 24. 24 is 1 times 24. Okay. 2 times 12, like this. This is how you answer the question. 3 times 8. Factorize this number. 4 times 6. These are the factors of 24. Now, from these factors, you need a pair that when you subtract it, you get 2. So you need a difference of 2 between these pairs. Now, let me take a look at that. Now, we take a look at the factors. We need two factors that have a difference of 2 between them. So when you subtract them, you get 2. So these factors are 6 and 4. Now, when you subtract them, you get positive 2. And it means that the biggest number must take the sign of this 2. So the biggest number should be here. So we're going to put the 6 here, like this, and the 4 here. It means 6 minus 4 equals 2. And when you multiply positive 6 by negative 4, is going to be negative 24. And this is how you factorize quadratic expressions. So the answer is 6 and positive 4. Now let's move on to the next question. The next question, because you already factorized this, you need to solve it. So equals 0, it means you have to solve it. Now solving, you have two methods. One of the methods can be very fast, which is just putting the opposite of this one. Or you can take the whole bracket and make it equal 0 and then find the value of x. It means for the first one, you're going to say x plus 6 equals 0. So you take the 6 to the other side, it means x equals negative 6. That's the first one. And then the second one here, so x here, x minus 4 equals 0. Now, if you want to take 4 to the other side, it means x equals positive 4. And this is the solving part of this question. So the factorizing will give you positive 6 and negative 4. And then the solving part, it means the opposite, which is negative 6 and 4. And this is how you answer a question like this. So focus on factorizing and focus on solving. Now let's move on to the next question. Okay. So factorizing and solving are very important. You have to focus on them. Now, question 24. Here's a triangular prism. And a triangular prism means what? It means it's a triangle that has been elongated to make a prism like this. So we have these lengths. We have 7.4 here, 11.2 here, and 15 centimeters here. Work out the volume of the prism. Give your answer correct to three significant figures. Now, to find the volume of a prism, you have to find the area of the cross section and then multiply it by the length of the prism. Here we have the cross section, which is a triangle. To find the area of the triangle, you need the base and the height. But we don't know the height, so it means we have to find the height first using these two lines. This one is 11.2, 11.2, let's put it here. Now, 11.2 here, and we have 7.4. Now, we're going to use these two and Pythagoras theorem to find the length of this line, which is the height of the triangle. So Pythagoras theorem says what? It says a squared equals b squared plus c squared. Now let's write the powers on top of them. So a squared equals b squared plus c squared. Now, we know in Pythagoras theorem that the letter which is alone before the equal sign is always the longest line or the height of the triangle. It means it's this one. So this one is the height, and the others B, C are these two lines. So we're going to say 11.2 squared. Let's write it here. 11.2 squared equals B squared, which is 7.4 squared, like this. As I said, B and C, they're okay if you mix them, but you have to know which one is the height and the longest line, okay? Plus C squared, okay? Now we're trying to find C squared, which is this line. So I'm going to take this to the other side by subtraction. So 11.2 squared, like this, minus 7.4 squared, minus 7.4 squared. Now I'm going to do this with a calculator. It will give me a final answer. So equals c squared. This is how you work out Pythagoras. Working out Pythagoras in the right way will give you a mark from the question. Now let's do this in the calculator. So at the end, c squared, like this, c squared, will equal the number that we will get from the calculator. So let's do it here. 11.2 squared, and then minus 7.4 squared. And I got 70.68. 70.68. Let's do it here. Yes, 70.68. Let's put it here. This is what 70.68 is c squared. Now I'm gonna use square root to remove the square. So this one is gonna be square rooted, and then I'm gonna find the number here. So this one's gonna be square rooted, At the end of Pythagoras, you always square root the number so you can find the length of the line that you're trying to find. So C equals 70.68 square rooted, 70.68, and the answer is 8.4. Okay, 8.4. Let's put it here. So it's 8.407. 8.407. We're not supposed to round until we get to the final answer, okay? Now, C is 8.407. 8.407. Let's put it here. 8.407. So this line is 8.407. Let's make it blue. It's okay. Now we found the height of the triangle. Now let's get back to the question. In the question, they need the volume of the prism. It means we're going to find the area of the triangle and then multiply it by the length. So the area of the triangle is what? It's half base times height. So 0.5 times base times height. This is the formula of the area of the triangle. You have to memorize these formulas so you know how to work with them, okay? So half base times height is the formula of the area of the triangle. Now I'm going to use it. I already know that the base is 7.4, the height is 8.407. So it's gonna equals to 0.5 multiplied by 7.4 multiplied by 8.407. Now I will get the area of the triangle by multiplying these numbers. So 0.5 times 7.4 times 8.407. And the answer is 31.1059. So 31.1059. This is the area of the triangle. Now I'm going to take the area of the triangle, as I said, and multiply it by the length of the prism. This is how you find the volume of the prism. So I'm going to multiply these together, 31.1059, multiply 15, and I'll get the volume of the prism. So 31.1059 times 13, 15, sorry. And the answer is, let me write it here, 466.5885. This is the total answer. Now I have to round it to three significant figures. Three significant figures means what? It means I need three numbers. That's the meaning of significant figures. It means the answer should be three numbers like this. 1, 2, 3. Now I look at the number after it, which is the 5. The 5 here is big, so it's going to add 1 to the 6 to make it 7. So the volume equals 467, and because its volume is going to be centimeter cubed. And this is how you find the volume of the prism. So the whole idea is you have to find the area of the cross section and then multiply it by the length of the prism. The area, we're missing this line, which is the height. We found it using Pythagoras. And then we used it to find the area, half base times height, and then we multiplied it by the length of the prism, and then we rounded this to three significant figures. Now let's move on to the next question. Question 25. King Bu sold a house for 180,000 yuan. The amount for which he sold the house is 24% more than the amount he paid for the house. So he sold the house. This is the money which is he sold the house with, and this one is 24% more than the amount he paid for the house with the old price. Work out how much King Bu paid for the house. Give your answer correct to three significant figures. This is question A. Now let's focus on the steps. Let's do it together here. So let's understand something because we're going to use the X method here. Let's do them here. First, what we know in the X method, we have four boxes. The original is always 100%. So here's the percentage. The original is always 100%, okay? Now, King sold the house for this money, and this one is 24% more. It means 100 when you add 24, it's going to be 124. So this one means 24% more. And this is the money who he sold the house for. And we are trying to find the original. So this one is the new amount of money or the money he sold the house for, 180,000. We are trying to find the original price. We are trying to find the original price. Now, after putting each number in its place, new percentage after the increase, new money after the increase. Now, I'm going to put X in the middle. I'm going to use the X method. So I'm going to multiply this by 100 and then divide it by 124. So let's put it here. Focus on this step. It's easy, but you have to understand where to put each number. So 180,000 multiplied by 100 and then divide 124. And the final answer is 145,161.2903. Now, this is the total number, but they need it rounded to three significant figures. So we're going to round this to three significant figures. It means we need three numbers in the answer. And these three numbers are 1, 4, 5, and the rest will be zeros. Now, we can't remove these, but we can remove the numbers after the decimal point, but these should be zeros only. So here, when we round this to three significant figures, so 1, 4, 5, and there's a 1 after it. The 1 is small, so it doesn't change the 5. So the final answer will be 145 with three zeros. So 145,000. And this is how you answer a question like this. Now, let's move on to the next question. When you answer a question like this, focus on how to use the X method and focus on the places of each one of them. Now, let's move on. That's question A. Here, Z bought a house on 1st of January 2017. When she bought the house, its value was 120,000 yuan. Okay, 120,000 yuan. So this is the original price. Okay, the value of the house increased by 1.8 percent per year. So the house increased by 1.8 per year. Work out the value of this house on 1st of January 2020. Give your answer correct and three significant figures. As you notice that there is a difference of 3 years between them. So the difference is 3 years here. Okay. Now, because the difference is 3 years and it will increase 1.8 per year from the value, it means we're going to do what? So the increase is per year. So every year the value will change. Now, this doesn't mean it's increased by the first value only. Every year, when you change a value by 1.8, it's going to increase by the change of the next year. It means it's the same as compound interest rule. Now, let me show you how to do this. Now, the compound interest rule will be like this. You have to focus on compound interest and simple interest and the difference between them. Now, the compound interest will tell you to multiply the original multiplied by bracket. You can say 1 plus percentage over 100, or it's okay. You can say 100 like this. I'm sorry. You can do it like this, which is 100 plus percentage over 100. Same idea as 1 plus percentage over 100. So it will give you the same idea, okay? Now, the P is percentage, which is 1.8 here. And then the power will be the number of years. So here you're going to use the number of years as a power. Now focus. This one is compound interest because it increases every single year by 1.8. But with simple interest, it's different. You find 1 year and what happens in 1 year, and then you take the value multiplied by the number of years, and then add it to the original value. This one will give you the new value. Okay. This is the rule. It means you can use it to go in the opposite way and find the original. Now we already have the original, so we're gonna say 120,000, 123, multiplied by 100 plus 1.8 over 100, like this. Okay, we put brackets to make sure that they do the brackets first. This is the idea of the compound interest. And then after that, it will give me the new value. So don't forget to put the power of years like this, which is power of 3, okay? And this is how you answer a question like this. Now, when I do it in the calculator, it will give me, let me do it very fast. So 120,000 for zeros times bracket 100, 1.8 over 100 power of 3. And the answer is 126,597.3398. Now, when you round this to three significant figures, same idea as we did before. So three significant figures, 126 here. It means the answer is 127 because the 5 is big and the rest are zeros. And this is how you answer a question like this. Thank you very much for watching. See you next time.